been about a year since we tested demolition blades, but what about regular circular saw blades? There's a huge difference in cost ranging from $5 to well over $20. Let's see which brand is the best. In the first test, we'll see which blade cuts the fastest through 2x4s. Then we'll see which blades cut the fastest through hardwood. We'll see which blade cuts to an 8-foot 4x4 the fastest. We'll see how the blades hold up after cutting through 10 16-penny nails that are embedded in a 12-inch 2x4. At a price of $10 for 2 blades or $5 each, the least expensive brand we'll be testing is made by Spyder. Polymer stabilization vents. Ultra tough nickel cobalt. It claims to last 6 times longer than regular blades. We're going to test that. The Spyder brand is made in China. The Spyder weighs 185 grams. I put together a really simple test rig to test the blades. The saw is on a set of rollers that fit onto a track. It slides in a perfectly straight line to prevent the blade from binding. I'll be using a 5-pound weight and pulley system to pull the saw through the cut. The saw is aligned perfectly with the pulley. To test new blade performance, I'll cut 12-inch pieces of 2x4 lumber. And a Spyder ripped through the 12-inch 2x4 in only 2.83 seconds. And it performed the same on the second board at 2.83 seconds. 2.78 seconds on the third board for an average time of 2.81 seconds. Also at a price of $5, the same price as the Spyder brand, is this Irwin Classic. No laser cut vents, heat expansion slots, or mock stabilizer vents. Just a regular blade. Precision ground teeth allow for smooth, accurate cuts. The Irwin Saw Blade is made in Vietnam. The Irwin's quite a bit heavier than the Spyder at 246 grams. And the Irwin needs quite a bit more time than the Spyder to rip the 12-inch 2x4 at 4.4 seconds. The Irwin performed about the same on the second board at 4.3 seconds. 4.3 seconds again on the third board for an average time of 4.33 seconds, which is about 1.5 seconds longer than the Spyder. At a budget price of only $7 is this Mastec brand. Expansion slots help heat dissipation and reduce blade warp. It claims to have tougher tungsten carbide tips for longer cutting life than other blades. It has an anti-kickback shoulder for safety reasons. The Mastec brand is made in China. The Mastec's the heaviest yet at 274 grams. The Mastec is even slower than the Irwin on the first board at 4.92 seconds. And the Mastec lost half a second on the second board at 5.42 seconds. The Mastec slowed down even more in the third cut to 5.98 seconds, so the blade is slowing down as it's getting hot. At a price of $8 is this Craftsman brand. Expansion and body slots allow the blade to run cooler, reduce blade flexing and binding. The blade has a thin curved design for smooth cuts. High-performance Craftsman Saw Blade features construction-grade carbide for durability and long life. The Craftsman brand is made in Vietnam. The Craftsman weighs 207 grams. The Craftsman is even faster than the Irwin and the Mastec at 3.44 seconds on the first pass. Nearly the same speed for the Craftsman on the second pass at 3.49 seconds. And the Craftsman moves into the second place behind the Spyder on the third pass at 3.39 seconds. So very consistent results. At a price of $9 is this Ryobi brand. Thin curved design for quick and clean cuts. Ideal for hardwood, softwood, plywood, and other lumber. There's no information on the blade regarding where the blade is manufactured. The Ryobi weighs 194 grams. And the Ryobi made the fastest cut yet at only 2.57 seconds. 2.57 seconds again for the Ryobi on the second pass. And it's 2.57 seconds 3 in a row for the Ryobi to take the lead from the Spyder. At a price of $9 or just $1 more than the Craftsman is this Metabo HPT. Premium VPR blades are laser cut from quality Japanese steel to maintain durability and cutting precision. Tungsten carbide tips are carefully welded to each blade tooth. Automated grinding process yields accurate tip geometry. The Metabo HPT is made in China. The Metabo weighs 224 grams. The Metabo isn't quite as fast as the Ryobi at 2.93 seconds, ripping through the first board. The Metabo performed nearly the same on the second pass at 2.98 seconds. And it's 3.03 seconds on the third pass to move into the third position behind the Spyder. There are 6 different brands that cost right at $10. The first of those is the Bosch Edge. The Bosch brand claims their blades start sharp, stay sharp, and resist impact damage for a long life. We're going to test that. Designed for tough construction jobs because they are engineered with brute carbide. Upgraded C3-C4 micrograin carbide formulation for increased impact resistance. The Bosch is made in China. The Bosch is pretty light at 197 grams. And the Bosch seems unbeatable at only 2.42 seconds on the first pass. And it's 2.42 seconds again for the Bosch on the second pass. And it's 2.32 seconds on the third pass to take the lead from the Ryobi. Very impressive. Also at a price of $10 is this DeWalt brand. Patent pending tough track tooth design for accurate tracking over the life of the blade. Patented body slots reduce vibration for exceptional feel. 18-degree hook angle. High-density tungsten carbide for toughness, wear resistance, and long life. The DeWalt blade is made in Vietnam, and the DeWalt weighs 185 grams. And the DeWalt made the cut in 3.03 seconds, which is slightly faster than average. And the DeWalt is very consistent at 3.03 seconds on the second pass. 3.03 seconds again on the third pass, which is good enough to move into 5th place. Also coming in at $10 is this Milwaukee brand. Designed for fast cutting, ripping, and cross-cutting on all woods. Extra thin kerf blades provide faster, more precise cuts. Industrial carbide teeth stay sharper longer. Specially engineered heat vents and expansion slots prevent blade distortion. The Milwaukee blade is made in Japan. The Milwaukee weighs 217 grams. And the Japanese-made Milwaukee is faster than the DeWalt on the first pass at 2.83 seconds. And the Milwaukee is nearly the same speed at 2.93 seconds on the second pass. 2.83 seconds on the third pass to move into 4th place behind the Spyder. Also at a price of $10 is this Diablo brand. Super thin laser cut kerf gives extremely fast, durable, and clean cuts. Non-stick perm shield coating reduces gumming, rusting, and corrosion. Durable micrograin titanium carbide for extreme durability and razor sharp cuts. Laser cut stabilizer vents trap noise and vibration, keeping the blade cool and reducing blade warp. The Diablo blade is made in Italy. And the Diablo is very light at 187 grams. And the Diablo is pretty fast on the first cut at 2.78 seconds. The Diablo performed about the same on the second pass at 2.98 seconds. 2.98 seconds again on the third pass for an average time of 2.91 seconds. Also at a price of $10 is this Makita Max Efficiency blade. Up to 70% more cuts per charge compared to standard blades. Also up to 70% faster cutting compared to standard blades. Ideal for cordless and corded saws. The Makita blade is made in China. And the Makita weighs 185 grams. Holy smokes, 1.41 seconds, very impressive. 1.46 seconds on the second pass, wow. 1.41 seconds again to beat all the competition by about a second. Also at a price of $10 is this Flex brand. Active speed carbide with unrelenting speed and durability. Includes a thin kerf design. Achieve optimal precision and accuracy in every rip with the saw's laser cut form and ultra thin kerf. The Flex blade is made in China. The Flex weighs 183 grams. The Flex needs 2.73 seconds on the first cut, and the Flex performed about the same on the second pass at 2.83 seconds. 2.83 seconds on the third pass for a 3-cut average of 2.78 seconds. At a price of $14 is this Norske brand. Radical bidirectional tooth profile doubles the cutting life. Specially designed for ripping and cross-cutting dimensional lumber. C3 micrograin carbide tips precision sharpened on all sides. Manufactured from Japanese tool steel for true and straight cuts. The Norske is made in China. And the Norske is the lightest yet at only 154 grams. If you're using a cordless saw, the Norske is going to eat up some batteries at 5.16 seconds on the first pass. And the Norske needed a little bit longer at 5.87 seconds to make the second cut, which is about the same speed as the Mastec. And it's 5.35 seconds on the third pass for a 3-cut average of 5.35 seconds, which is slightly faster than the Mastec. At a price of $17 is this Skil brand. Lasts up to 60 times longer than steel blades. Expansion slots to ensure blade runs straight and true. Clear anti-stick coating to resist friction, heat, and binding. The Skil brand is made in China. And the Skil is a pretty heavy blade at 249 grams. The Skil is a pretty heavy blade and it made the first cut in 3.79 seconds, which is a little bit slower than average. And the Skil performed the same on the second pass at 3.79 seconds. 3.79 seconds on the third pass, so the Makita holds on to the lead. And the most expensive blade we'll be testing at $28 is made by Falkenwald. Perfect for wood with nails, aluminum, and plastics. All the other blades have 24 teeth, the Falkenwald has 20. It claims to have 100% fast cut. Robust cutting surfaces made of carbide to ensure long service life. Designed in Germany and made in China. And the Falkenwald is by far the heaviest yet at 335 grams. The Falkenwald is slower than average at 4.05 seconds on the first cut. And the Falkenwald slowed down by 0.3 of a second on the second pass at 4.35 seconds. And the Falkenwald slowed down a little bit more on the third pass and appears to be slowing as it's heating up from use. So the Makita completely dominated the competition with a 3-cut average speed of 1.43 seconds. The Bosch needed almost a second longer at 2.39 seconds, Ryobi 2.57, Flex 2.78, and Spyder 2.81 seconds. A big thank you to my friend Jared for supplying an oak 2x4 which he milled using a sawmill. A 1-foot section of the 2x4 we just cut weighs 411 grams. And the oak weighs more than twice as much as the 2x4. Let's see how long it takes to drive in a deck screw into the soft 2x4. 1.06 seconds. Over 3 times as long for the oak, 3.23 seconds. Most of the blades delivered very consistent cut times in the first round, so let's just make one pass on this round. And the Spyder ripped through the oak in only 3.44 seconds, or about 0.6 of a second longer than the softwood. And the Irwin made the cut in 4.71 seconds, or about 1.5 seconds longer than the Spyder. And the Mastec really struggled, needing about 1.5 seconds longer than cutting through the softwood. 6.94 seconds to make the cut. The Craftsman slowed down by a full second to 4.45 seconds, which is good enough to move into second place behind the Spyder. The hardwood slowed the Ryobi by a second and a half to 3.95 seconds to move into second place behind the Spyder. Just like the Ryobi, the hardwood slowed the Metabo by about 1.5 seconds to finish the cut in 4.5 seconds. And the Bosch slowed by 1.4 seconds, cutting through the oak, making the cut in 3.79 seconds. The DeWalt slowed by less than a second, making the cut in 3.89 seconds to move into third place behind the Bosch. And the Milwaukee performed the same as the DeWalt at 3.89 seconds for a two-way tie for third place. The Diablo slowed by 1.2 seconds to make the cut in 4.15 seconds, which is a little bit faster than average. 2.17 seconds for the Makita, very impressive. And the Flex slowed by less than a second to 3.69 seconds to move into third place behind the Spyder. And the Norske slowed down by 0.6 of a second to make the cut in 5.92 seconds, or about 2 seconds longer than average. And the Skil needed an extra 1.5 seconds to rip through the oak at 5.31 seconds, which is a little bit faster than the Norske. And the Falkenwald needed over 3 seconds longer to make the cut at 7.86 seconds. So the Falkenwald moves into last place behind the Mastec. So once again, the Makita dominated the competition by ripping through the oak in only 2.17 seconds. The very affordable Spyder finished in second at 3.44 seconds, Flex 3.69, Bosch 3.79, and DeWalt and Milwaukee 3.89 seconds. Let's see how the blades perform on this 8-foot pressure-treated 4x4. The saw is set up to cut 2 11/16 inches deep. The Makita uses 2 batteries, but I'll rotate the batteries to make sure they're fully charged, beginning with the Spyder brand. Definitely not the most accurate way to compare blade cut speed, but it'll provide some great information. And the Spyder ripped through the 8-foot 4x4 in only 12 seconds. The blade stayed cool at 76 degrees Fahrenheit. The Irwin took 4 seconds longer than the Spyder, 21.4 seconds. The blade is 80 degrees Fahrenheit. The Mastec is a lot slower than the Spyder and the Irwin at 26 seconds. The blade is 80 degrees Fahrenheit. And the Craftsman is the second fastest blade yet at 13 seconds. 79 degrees after making the cut. The Ryobi is the fastest blade yet at 11.2 seconds. The blade is very close to 80 degrees Fahrenheit. And the Metabo moves into a two-way tie for third place with the Craftsman at 13 seconds. The blade is also the hottest yet at 83 degrees. And the Bosch is nearly as fast as the Spyder at 12.5 seconds. However, the blade is 6 degrees cooler at only 77 degrees. The DeWalt is 2 seconds slower than the Bosch at 14.9 seconds. The blade is the hottest yet at 85 degrees. And the Milwaukee is a little bit slower than the DeWalt at 16.4 seconds. The blade temperature is very close to 84 degrees. The Diablo is quite a bit faster than most of the other brands at 13.4 seconds. The blade temperature is 83 degrees. And the Makita made this look way too easy at only 7.4 seconds. Very impressive. 82 degrees after making the cut. And the Flex just moved into second place at 10.9 seconds. The blade stayed cool at 78 degrees. The Norske is slower than most of the other brands at 16.6 seconds. 81 degrees for the Norske. The Skil is the second slowest blade yet at 20.8 seconds. The blade kept its cool at 77 degrees. And the Falkenwald is a little bit slower than the Skil at 25.2 seconds. And the Falkenwald is pretty warm at 85 degrees. So once again, the Makita came out on top in only 7.4 seconds. The Flex finished in second at 10.9 seconds, Ryobi 11.2, Spyder 12, and Bosch 12.5 seconds. The wood in the blade started out at around 60 degrees, and the Spyder stayed the coolest at 76. Bosch and Skil performed nearly the same at 77, Flex 78, and Craftsman 79 degrees. A 24 tooth is definitely not the best pick if you want a really smooth cut. While it's highly subjective, I went ahead and compared the smoothness of the cut for each brand, and the Spyder, Bosch, Makita, Metabo, and DeWalt performed the best with the rating of 1. Most of the other brands performed nearly as well with the rating of 2. If your luck is as good as mine, it won't take long before the blade comes in contact with the nail. So let's go ahead and cut through 10 16-penny nails that are embedded in a 12-inch 2x4. And the Spyder ripped through the 10 nails in board in only 3.39 seconds. Let's cut through a board that doesn't have nails and see how much it hurt the blade. 3.13 seconds or 11% longer before experiencing damage from the nails. And the Spyder lost 2 teeth and the rest of the teeth are still in pretty good shape. The Irwin really struggled to cut through the nails and the board, finally making the cut in 38 seconds. And the Irwin needed 33 seconds to make the cut through a clean 2x4. Unfortunately, all 24 of the Irwin's carbide teeth came out from impacting the nails. And the Mastec cut through the wood and the nails in 10.29 seconds. And the nails really hurt the performance of the Mastec, 9.5 seconds. The Mastec didn't lose any teeth, but it did experience quite a bit of dulling. The Craftsman needed 5.98 seconds to make the cut. And the Craftsman needed 41% longer to make the cut through clean wood, 4.86 seconds. And the Craftsman teeth are still in pretty good condition with some minor chipping. And the Ryobi made pretty quick work of the wood and the nails at 4.7 seconds. And the Ryobi moves into second place behind the Spyder, cutting through the clean wood at 3.49 seconds. No missing teeth, only minor damage. And the Metabo cut through the wood and the nails in 5.67 seconds. After experiencing damage from the nail, the Metabo needed 112% longer to make the cut, 6.33 seconds. And the teeth experienced a lot of small chips. Before hitting the nails, the Bosch was a very fast blade, but it experienced a lot of damage, 8.16 seconds. Compared to the new blade, the Bosch needed 271% longer to make the cut, 8.87 seconds. And the teeth experienced a lot of small chips. The DeWalt performed better than average, cutting through the wood and the nails in 5.06 seconds. And the DeWalt held up really well and cut through the clean 2x4 in only 3.59 seconds. There's very little damage to the DeWalt blade. The Milwaukee made quick work of cutting through the nails in only 3.39 seconds. And the Milwaukee is nearly as fast as the DeWalt at 3.89 seconds. There's very little damage to the Milwaukee. And the Diablo made the fastest cut through the nails yet at 3.13 seconds. And the Diablo needed 25% longer after hitting the nails, 3.64 seconds. The Diablo's teeth are still in pretty good shape. The Makita lost a lot of speed from the nail damage, 4.3 seconds. And the Makita took 319% longer to make the cut, 5.98 seconds. The Makita lost 2 teeth and has quite a bit of doling. The Flex made the fastest cut yet through the nails at only 2.93 seconds. The Flex took 58% longer to make the cut through clean wood, 4.4 seconds. No missing teeth, only minor damage. The Norske cut through the nail embedded wood in 4.6 seconds. And the Norske needed 38% longer than new, making the cut through the 2x4 in 7.4 seconds. Since the Norske is the only blade that's bidirectional, let's run the blade in the other direction to see how it performs. Unfortunately, the blade took even longer to make the cut, 11.35 seconds. And both the leading and the trailing teeth on the Norske experienced quite a bit of damage from the nails. The Skil made the cut through the nails in 4.7 seconds. And the Skil needed 80% longer to make the cut through the clean wood, 6.84 seconds. The teeth experienced some doling, but there's no missing teeth. The Falkenwald is designed for nail-embedded wood and made the cut through the nails in 8.87 seconds. And the Falkenwald really slowed down quite a bit, 233% longer to make the cut at 14.3 seconds. No missing teeth, but there's quite a bit of doling and chipping. After cutting through 10 nails, the Spyder is now the fastest blade at 3.13 seconds. The Ryobi is the second fastest at 3.49, DeWalt 3.59, Diablo 3.64, and Milwaukee 3.89 seconds. Another way to look at blade durability is to consider how much more time the blades needed to cut through wood after hitting the nails compared to new. And the Spyder only showed an 11.26% increase in time. DeWalt 18.5%, Diablo 24.9%, Ryobi 35.8%, and Milwaukee 35.9%. When it comes to a circular saw blade, I really like to have a fast cutting blade. And for me, that makes the Makita the best choice, especially for a cordless saw. However, if you think you might get into some nails, there are definitely some better options out there. I really like the Milwaukee, DeWalt, Diablo, and the Ryobi. Those are very good as far as durability, but for a cordless saw, they will use up the batteries a little bit faster than the Makita. If you're able to buy the Spyder blade for around $5 or $6, it definitely seems like the best value. It cuts fast, and it can take a little bit of abuse and still hold up just fine. Going back to cutting speed, I really like the Flex as well as the Bosch. They cut very fast, but they don't hold up too well when it comes to coming in contact with nails. All the videos in this channel, including this one, are viewer suggested. So if you have a video idea, I hope you'll take time to leave a comment. Thanks so much for watching. Please take care, and I look forward to next time.